Good evening, Democrats. We have a really packed schedule tonight for our agenda. It includes a few things that aren't printed on the official agenda. So we're going to go ahead and get started right on time tonight at 7 o'clock. If you guys will, go ahead and please stand and join me in the pledge. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, like I said, before we get started tonight, there are postcards back here on a table that Jerry Nicholson has set up for us. She put together a wonderful list of all the elected officials in our area. It looks like this. It's pretty long and comprehensive. So if there's somebody you got to beef with or want to write and tell them they're doing an excellent job or suggest some changes, this is a great list here. The postcards back there are pre-stamped for your convenience, so you don't have to pay anything. Just take them, address them, give them a nice little note, and send it on its way. Thank you again, Jerry. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, yeah, and thank you, Celeste, for helping with the list. We really appreciate it. Celeste does so much, we forget all that she does. So. Yes, you may keep the list, absolutely. Yes. And we will put the list on the website. So if you don't get one tonight, we'll make the list available electronically. Okay, tonight we have Stephen Payne joining us. Stephen grew up in Pawhuska. He left high school at 17. He joined the United States Navy, where he served aboard the USS Point Defiance and was at Cuba during the 1962 missile crisis. He returned to and completed high school here at College High in 1967 and began working at Phillips Petroleum Company. He began college at TU and then earned his associate degree from TCC in Spanish in 2001 after having been laid off at Phillips. He supports Black Lives Matter with his t-shirt collection. He's a local celebrity, a prolific blogger. He has a huge online presence. Please help me welcome our own Stephen Payne to the stage.
I'm gonna get my phone out here. Hi, I'm pleased to be here. I just want to get my phone open for my notes in here. And I'm going to take my mask off. Eric says good. Yeah. Forgive me for my voice. I have a thing called spasmodic dysphonia, which is actually a brain illness, but it affects the vocal cords. And so my vocal cords go slammity, slammity, slammity all the time. And if I don't keep my mic up, okay. I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do the something that I can do. That was written by Edward Everett Hale, who was the speaker at Gettysburg. And Lincoln was only the sideshow. And Hale wrote the hymn that said, my 4 hours of speaking could not move the world in the way that your few minutes did. Edward Everett Hale wrote The Man Without a Country and a number of other books. He's well worth studying. Okay, what I wanted to talk about, I actually asked if I could talk at some point. Let me find one of the things of racism. Racism can be if you treat somebody different because of their skin color between two people. It can be that simple, and it can be expressed by violent overtones, rock throwing, hanging, and brutal things as we see. Or it can just be our subtle existence, the way we exist and go about things. I was raised in Pawhuska, Oklahoma. I was born in Oklahoma City. I'll give you an interesting sidelight. My mother was born in 1922 out of wedlock She was adopted by my Osage grandmother and her Jewish husband. My mother was raised as a Jew until about 11 years old. And I didn't learn a lot of these things until I was older and such. But interestingly, my father did not want me for some real complicated reasons. And so I was raised by two women, period. There were no men in the house. I'd have an uncle drift in once in a while. My grandmother was Osage, so I was raised by Osage. And they never told me I was Osage. My grandmother always told me I was Cherokee on my father's side. So I have this mixed culture. But I've always had white privilege just for being white. Let me, I mentioned that, what can I do? This is something. If you don't recognize this young man today, just 2 months ago, he was shot to death, shot 60 times by 5 police officers in Akron, Ohio. And I started putting the names on the front and on the back. I have that statement. I used to do it the other way. I have Black Lives in front. I started out with a shirt that said, being black is legal. I didn't want to force the issue. I went to Tulsa looking for a Colin Kaepernick shirts. All I wanted, nobody had them. They didn't have Black Lives Matter wristbands. I had to get those from the internet. I saw this shirt that said that being black is legal. I started wearing it. I had a few comments. The first time I went out with a shirt that just said, there's a photo that's gone around, I think quite a bit, that just said Black Lives Matter. I was quite scared. When I was 69, I jumped out of an airplane because I'm afraid of heights. I was almost that scared the first time I went out in my Black Lives Matter shirt. I didn't know what was going to happen. And I had some looks, that's all. I've had 4 incidents. One of them with my wife with me, Charlotte, back there. And we were in Quick Rip, and we had a man who really get kind of violent. He started speaking a little Russian to me. Yeah, man, communist, oh yeah, Ruski. I speak Russian. He did. So he was throwing an incorrect phrase at me. And he actually got fairly violent one night. I had to involve the police. He didn't hit us, but he scared us pretty badly. So here's where my white privilege works in this case. A black person wearing that shirt is supposed to wear it. They're black. There's a portion supposed to support it. So a black person going into Walmart and anything, they just say, okay, there's a black person wearing a Black Lives shirt. I get attention, but it's not about the man. It's not about me. It's about the message. Black Lives Matter. I'm trying to keep saying that. Now, growing up in Pawhuska, I have a friend living up there from Pawhuska that grew up with me. The bus station had signs that said black, white, men, women. Water fountain said black and white. The restrooms were separate. When we went out to board the bus, all the black people boarded the bus first and sat at the back. And then we got on.